Better to die on your feet, comrade.
Is it here? I think so. Hi, we are here in front of Rob MacDonald's art gallery, and we are going to show you how it's going to be the exposition the 3rd of November, and we are going to ask him some questions.
Hi. Come in. Hi. Welcome, come in.
We are here to see what you have been doing during this year about Ciutat de Barcelona, and what can you show us to learn more?
Okay, great. Yeah, well, this year I've been really busy. I've opened this centre to help create the Solidarity Park monument and memorial. And the 3rd of November we'll be opening an exhibition of the whole process of the work and all different art that people have sent in to the project, and including the work that the students here in Malgrat and in Australia and Germany have done. So do you want me to show you about a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, first of all, it's chaotic at the moment. Yeah, because just before an exhibition, everything is upside down. So if people come and visit me another time, it might be a little bit more organised. But if you see here, what we have here is some of the art that's been produced for people for the exhibition. The important thing about the Solidarity Park project is that it's a project of participation. And from the beginning, we wanted to link the whole world to Malgrat. So we've asked artists from around the world to create art. And here we have some of the pieces of art. It's obviously in process, and you'll have to come to the exhibition to see it properly. This one, which you might recognise because it lives in your school, I call it the dancing brigadista of Malgrat. And this one was carved in the streets of Malgrat, with people from Malgrat helping me. So this one's particularly important to me. So yeah, this is some of the art. We've got over 80 artworks in this exhibition, so my only problem is space in the Civic Centre.
So which piece was the first?
Okay, these three were the first three, because I was experimenting with different ideas at the time. This was before we actually had the idea of the monument. So these were made just on their own. And then this one was made later on. This was made last year on the streets of Malgrat. People from Malgrat had an opportunity to have a go and help form the idea. Okay, so the centre also not only has art, but also has a lot of images and different stories of what took place in 1937 in Malgrat. So here we have, at the moment, again a bit chaotic because I'm using different images for the exhibition, but here we have different parts and information.
Oh, Rob, is that the Ciutat de Barcelona?
Yeah, this is a picture of the actual ship, the Ciutat de Barcelona, but also here there's other technical information of the ship, and this is actually footage of the ship under the sea. There was a dive that took place a number of years ago. And also there's other information, reports from the press, from the day. Here there's information on the brigadistas themselves, in Catalan and in English. So there's lots and lots of history for people to learn, because the important part of the project is it's participatory so that people learn what actually took place, because it's been forgotten. And the job of this project is to change that. Do you want to see some more of the centre?
Yeah.
Okay. We've gone through. So,
Can you explain us something about this sculpture?
yeah, this is 30 of the brigadistas that will be part of the monument on the beach. This is one side. But for the exhibition, there's going to be some differences. So you see the 30 here, this is how they'll be on the monument. In the monument, they will start higher, and you will get a different perspective. So it's designed to be looked up into, because the idea of this monument is that we're celebrating these heroes. We're putting them on top of the world. But in the exhibition, we're doing the opposite. We want to tell the story about when the ship sank. In those final moments, they sang the Internationale. They were thinking about the struggle in the last moments of their lives. So this installation is lower. Also, it's going to have a projection on it, and it's going to have a soundtrack. And it's also going to be in a small room, with the idea that people understand what was happening in those final moments for those brigadistas. And if I show you, it won't be perfect, but the design of the idea is that the reflection of the light, you can see here,
Better to die on your feet, comrade. Join the brigade, join the brigade, than to live on your knees.
Okay, so that's the brigadistas, but the exhibition's going to have loads of other things. For example, there's this graffiti here that was done by a German graffiti artist. He also did another graffiti in Barcelona. In this corner, I use for people to come and have a go to actually make some of the monument. In the middle here, if you have a look, all sorts of stands that different sculptures and things are going to be on. And then if you come around here, you can see this is some of the graffiti art that was done by the students in Cologne in Germany. It's not all of it, we have some others that we'll be showing as well. But they had a project of making portholes, claraboyas, for the ship, because the idea is on the real monument, we want students to actually design drawings of what actually took place on the day, and this will be part of the monument. So this is the German students' impression of those ideas. So you can, this is again part of the art that's being produced. Any other questions?
How many brigades are in the real monument?
For the exhibition or for the project?
The exhibition.
For the exhibition, I've been working. Well, the exhibition is about the project. So the projects, I've been working on the project now for probably about 2 years, and full time for about 18 months, because it's taken a lot of work. The exhibition, I've been focused on it for about 6-7 weeks. There's a lot of things to build, a lot of things to make, there's a lot of art to collect in, there's a lot of writing to be done, explanations and this kind of thing. So about 2 months in total to prepare for the exhibition.
When's the monument going to be exposed on the beach?
The exhibition is going to be in the Civic Centre on the 3rd of November, that's the opening, and it will run for the whole of November. And the monument itself, we're hoping that it will be on the beach next May. That's the plan, but that's not 100% yet, but that's in process. But hopefully we can announce that soon.
So, what's the objective of doing that monument?
The objective is to tell the story of what took place. So, firstly, the objective is a historical objective. It's a memory that's been forgotten. That's the first objective. The second objective is it's a memory that's been forgotten, and it needs to be remembered. Why? Because they came to fight fascism, and fascism is a problem today. So the objective for me is, one, is a history, that people learn the history, but two, they do something about it now. That we learn the relevance of the lessons, what the International Brigadistas stood for, internationalism, solidarity, and that we shout that as loud as possible, because today we need those very same ideas to come back, because fascism is a problem around the world today.
So is someone helping you with the money, like the town hall or any entity?
No, well, what we did is, to start the project, we did crowdfunding, and we asked for money from people from all around the world, and hundreds of people have donated. We've raised €17,000. They came from trade unions, it's come from families, it's come from individuals, it's come from people in Malgrat buying badges, loads of different ways. That's how we started the project. And that's paid for the brigadistas to be made, the figures, and it pays for the participation part of the project. And then the final phase of the project, putting the monument on the beach with all the other aspects, is the responsibility of the Ayuntamiento.
And how long does it take to build just a single piece?
I think, because I make them not one at a time. I did some videos online and people can see the process of how I made them. I think more or less one takes about 16 hours or a little bit more. And you think there's 60 of them, that's a lot of hours. But that doesn't include moving them about. That doesn't include bringing them from my workshop in Lleida to here, and from here to the Civic Centre. That doesn't include polishing them, which takes a lot of time. So it's at least 2 or 3 days each one.
How many brigades more or less you have made for the monument?
There will be 60. At the moment, I finished the first 30, and I have another 10, 15 in process. But because the idea is that you help me make them, there's still a lot to be done. And it's a lot slower, because you asked me how long does it takes me 2-3 days to make one. But if I make it in the street, it takes a lot longer because people don't know what they're doing. I need to teach them, I need to show them. But for me, this is a really critical part of the project, that you actually touch and make the monument yourself. Not just the brigadistas, but every aspect of it. So when I came to your school last year, we talked about we're going to tell the story of Ciutat de Barcelona together because it's our shared history.
Okay.
Okay, so I can show you some of these pictures. These are the images done by the German students. They're the idea of the portholes for the window of the boat that tell the story of what took place around the project, but also different ideas about what they thought happened on that day. And yeah, that's more or less the Solidarity Park project and the ideas for the exhibition in November.
Yeah, okay, now we would like to ask you some personal questions.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Far away.
So what do you think before creating a new piece of art?
Okay, well, when I create something new, it depends what it is. Sometimes I don't think at all, I make something quickly, it's just in my head at the moment. But more often, I think about projects for a long time. I think about a sculpture or idea or something, and I'm walking down the street, I'm dreaming, I'm thinking about it, and so there's a process of taking in all the information. And for this project, it was important to get to know Malgrat, the people of Malgrat, the history, so I took all that in. And then the actual moment of creation is much more dynamic. I go, I look at a piece of stone, and sometimes I've done drawings and ideas. I can't draw very well. I draw very badly, and then I just make it. And so that's normally the kind of process. A bit different with this project because it needed a bit more planning, but that's all. There's always this moment when you create something new of you have to let go. You make lots and lots of plans, and then you do it, and you stop thinking about it. And more or less, I think that's my process.
And so you told us that the light was going to play a very important role here. And how is the light going to move, or is it going to be light?
There's not going to be a light in the actual in the installation. But hopefully in the monuments, when it's on the beach, there'll be lights, and then you'll see this idea of the light shades. But for the installation of the November exhibition, it's going to be a video projection. And the images in that video projection will be around the Ciutat de Barcelona, Malgrat, the history.
So after this project, what have you thought to do? You have planned another project? Or?
I've always got loads of projects. There's always lots. There's lots of space in my head for projects, but there's not lots of space in my head to doing them. So this project will probably take the majority of next year. But I'm also developing other things meanwhile. And because for me, the connection of art, community and politics is important, my projects are often interconnected with those issues. So I'm starting to plan a new project in Sweden, which is against racism. and is about refugees and immigrant rights. So that's one of the ideas I'm starting to develop. But also, these are all participatory projects like the Solidarity Park one, but I'm also, more personally, I want to create music, I'm a drummer, on stone. So I've also got this project developing as well. So there's lots of other things going on, but for the moment I think I've got enough work to do.
Okay, Rob, so thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome. Just one point though, you're very welcome because this project is about, the art of this project is not just about the stone. The art of the project is this. It's the process of people being involved, interviewing and actually getting involved. So not only do you interview me, you have to come and help me make it. Okay?
We really enjoy your art.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Better to die on your feet, comrade. Join the brigade. Join the brigade.